Do you struggle around the greens? You're not sure what shot type to hit? Watch this short video and we will show you how to get that score lower and do the correct shot at the right time. My name's Lee Jones and we're down at Carus Green Golf Club, and in today's video we're going to show you what is the better option between a 7-iron and a wedge. Comment down below, which one do you use, or do you struggle around the green? Do you use a 7-iron for a chip and run, or do you use the wedge to get it closer to the hole? We're going to try many different scenarios. Let's get out on the golf course and let's put ourselves in these positions where we will help you lower your score. So we've hit our ball and this is the position we've left ourselves in. Now, this is not an easy shot. The green goes from left to right and it goes downhill, and you can see that now. It does that. So that to me is ruling one golf club out. But what golf club would you use? Let me know, comment down below. Would you use a wedge or would you use a 7-iron? For me, if I use a wedge and I don't quite get it right, I'm going to leave it really short and leave myself with such a difficult putt that we're potentially going to make more putts. If I thin the ball, I'm going to put it in potentially in the bunker on the other side, and I don't want that either. We're trying to minimise and use the clubs that's going to make our score better. So we're going to use the 7-iron. We're going to pick our spot, which is about a third of the way, as you can see on the screen. Going to land the ball there and let gravity take over and get the ball to the hole. So we're going to have a couple of practice swings because we need to feel where we need to have this ball going. So now we've done all the hard work. We know our landing zone. We know the club we want to hit. We know which way the green goes. We've just got to execute that shot now. So from here, nice and easy. And from there, that ball will trickle off to the right hand side. Now, if I can get that ball within 10 foot, which I have, I'm really happy with that. That shot was not easy at all. We still got our putt for par. So let's have a look at the technique and see how we did that shot. So I spoke about technique, so let's have a closer look at that technique. What we want to do is do this like a putter. Why do we need to do it like a putter? Because it eliminates all our risks and everything else like that. So when we use a putter, we literally rock our shoulders backwards and forwards. The weight is evenly distributed. What we're going to do, put the ball in our middle of our stance, as you can see, middle of our stance. But why is that important? That's important because if you look here, it's in line with our sternum. And that is important because if we don't, we're going to hit the ball here or potentially hit it on the up. If we have it in line with our sternum, we're going to catch the ball at the perfect point in the bottom of the arc. So from here, we've got our stance, we've got our golf club in line. All we need to do is just rock our shoulders back and forth like we would with a putter. And as you can see, we did that. We caught the golf ball beautifully and we took out all of our wrists. Right, so we've got 20 yards left in. We've got a decision to make. Do we go with the wedge and go for the chip in option, or do we go for the 7-iron and go for the chip and run option? There's a little ridge in front of the green. Now if you hit wedge and don't quite get it to the green, it's going to hit that and pretty much stop. What we want to do is hit the 7-iron because the ball's always going to have the forward momentum. And if we're going to do with the 7-iron, we need to pick our landing spot. This is relatively flat, so we're going to go a third of the way. But if it was uphill, think about going halfway because you need to get that little bit more momentum with it going away from you. So let's try the 7-iron, chip and run, and get this nice and close to the hole, let it run up there. So pick your spot, line up, and just rock them shoulders backwards and forwards. And there we go, a risk-free shot. We didn't have to worry about the ball stopping in front. We've got it going nicely and the momentum has taken it to the hole where we can have a putt for our par. Now let's have a look at a wedge shot over a hazard, or is there another option? So here we go, we found ourselves in this position. We've got a hazard now in front of us, but we've got a lot of green to work with. So this shot would indicate that we need to use our wedge. Now that doesn't matter whether it's your pitching wedge or you have any specialist wedges, but there is an option for a 7-iron, and I'll show you that in a minute. But first and foremost, we'll hit the wedge shot first. So like I say, there's a lot of green to work with, but on this shot we need to be confident. We need to make sure we're going to get the ball to the hole, so be confident. Okay, so we're going to address the golf ball and then just get that golf ball near the hole. And there we go, nice and near the hole. So we've done the bunker shot over the bunker. Now, if you're not confident enough for doing that, or you don't want to do it on the day, there's an option we can use our 7-iron. As you can see, the bunker is in front of us, but there's green to the right hand side, and the green actually slopes to the hole. So we can use that to our advantage and just get the ball on the ground and run it to the hole. And we'll do that by taking that bunker completely out of play. And that ball should come down. There we go. Now that still gives us a putt. Our technique, what are we going to do? For me personally, I like to put the golf club behind the ball first, so that I can then address it from here. When I address it from, it's very much like the 7-iron that we just did before. It's going to be in the middle of our sternum. We still want the bottom of the arc in the same place. I'm going to stand a little bit open, but what I am going to do different here is put more weight on my left side. We're going to put about 70% on there and leave 30% on that one. And we're not going to do the putting stroke either. We're going to have a little bit of wrists, and we're just going to make one fluid motion from there. I hit the same spot on the ground every time because it's in the right position. So remember, club behind the ball, ball in the middle of the stance, get the sternum going, and all we're going to do, confident strike. So there we go. I've shown you two very different shots with two very different clubs. We've shown the 7-iron and the wedge shot. When to play them, when not to play them. If there's a hazard, you want to use the loft. For other shots, we want to go for a little chip and run. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you have, please consider hitting the subscribe button. My name's Lee Jones. I'm down at Carus Green Golf Club, and we'll see you again soon for some more tips.